Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, folks, wherever you're watching. We are in New Taipei City, Chinese Taipei, for the SBL Finals. And this is game number 6. It is the deciding game. The series is knotted at 3 apiece. Remember, the reason why that sounds a little bit odd is because Taiwan Beer were actually awarded a win before the series even began by virtue of having the best record during the regular season. So taking on Yulon, Taiwan Beer and Yulon knotted at 3 games apiece. And of course, one of the big talking points really here at New Taipei City has been the fantastic display in the last game by Marcus Keene, erupting for a record 46 points. No player had scored that many points in a final game before. The previous high had been 39 points. And Marcus Keene just caught fire early and kept burning for the rest of the game. So it sets things up nicely, certainly for the neutral fans, as they get to watch a deciding game. And fortunately, we can bring you this live basketball with much of the sports world having been halted due to the coronavirus pandemic. But in Chinese Taipei, the players have all passed their exams and been cleared to play healthy. Just as precautionary measures, fans are still not allowed inside to watch. They'll be watching back at home or wherever they are right now, watching this game on TV. Of course, 11 Sports has been very kind to us by sharing their feed, and so a huge thank you to them. And because of that, we're able to bring you some live basketball. And of course, everybody's hope is that the live basketball around the world will return sooner than later. But it's one step at a time, and everybody needs to make sure they follow the guidelines in their respective countries. Listen, folks, it's the SBL Finals. It's game number 6. It's 3-3, and one of these teams is going to be back on top in Chinese Taipei basketball. These two clubs, really iconic clubs in the grand scheme of things. The SBL dates back to the 2003-2004 campaign. Chinese Taipei watched as Yulon won that title. They won the next 2 as well, so they actually began SBL history with a three-peat. And in that third title game, they beat this club, Taiwan Beer. Now, Taiwan Beer then won the next 2 titles. And with that, really kind of made their mark. And it's great to have them both back in the finals. Of course, Fubon Braves elected not to defend their title this season. They won it last year, and they elected to play in the Asian Basketball League. But in this showdown, we've seen a lot of Chinese national team players. We've seen Ukraine international Igor Zaitsev of Taiwan Beer. We've seen Canadian giant Sim Bular playing for Yulon. And we've also seen the likes of Kentrell Barkley play for Taiwan Beer, and of course Marcus Keene, the man that poured in that whopping 46 points the other day. So we're just minutes away from the start of Game 6. Remember, the winner of this is crowned champions of the SBL. Well, hello, everybody. You are watching the SBL Finals here in New Taipei City. The finals between Taiwan Beer and Yulon. As we look at the opening credits here for this game and for the SBL, it all comes down to this: the 17th Super Basketball League title. It'll be won by either Taiwan Beer or Yulon. And this is it. We've had a lot of fun covering this series and bringing you live basketball. It's been a breath of fresh air during this coronavirus pandemic, which has basically shut down sport in most places around the world. But here in Chinese Taipei, at least the teams have been able to come out and play. So the 11 sports commentators are in their place and ready to bring you the action. And to them and to everybody else, 11 Sports, a huge thank you for sharing your feed so that we can bring the world some live basketball during this very difficult time. Now, both rosters extremely talented. Of course, Yulon were on the ropes heading into that last game. They had to win to force the game, the deciding game, and they did, getting a whopping 46 points from Marcus Keene. 46 points, a record in a final. So a great moment for him, a great moment for Yulon basketball, but it's not going to matter if they don't get the win today. They've come out and really given themselves a chance against the Taiwan Beer team that really had no rivals during the regular season, with Chang Wu-an there, the number 14 point guard of Taiwan Beer, having some big performances for his team. But it's been a whole cast of characters. Chang, he's really run hot and cold. You know, he can score, he can dish, he comes up with the big steal occasionally. But it's a real team effort for this Taiwan Beer team. Sometimes it's Chang, sometimes it's Kentrell Barkley, sometimes it's Huang Song Han. But right now we are focusing on Chang Wu-an of the national team, and of course several players here in this finals play for the national team. And that man right there, Cho Jun-san, the former coach of Chinese Taipei and also a former national team player himself. Well, there's Marcus Keene. We were talking about him, and he came out and poured in the 46 points in that last game in Game 5, a record for a game in the SBL Finals. And really, who knows, if he had stayed on the court even longer than he did, you know, he might have even had a bigger game. As it is, he really did wreak havoc. And that's his reputation. You know, he can do a lot of things, but the thing that he does better than anything else is he gets open and he hits three-point shots. He puts the ball on the deck, and his coach was certainly glad to see that, Lee T.E. So Lee T.E. talking to the local 11 Sports here crew, and ahead of this game, these are the shooting percentages for both of these teams in this final series. They've each hit their share of threes. There have been some struggles at the line, particularly for Yulon, but they appeared to straighten those out in the last game, but of course that can always change. And Lee T.E. will be hoping that they get more of the same from last time. But anyway, the numbers, all that stuff, that's in the past. You know, what matters is what's going to happen now, and how many rebounds you're going to get, how many times you're going to crash the boards. Yulon have had an issue with turnovers, so sometimes they've really struggled to kind of get out of their own way. They will need to be at their best today to beat this Taiwan Beer team. And these referees get the honor of calling the final game of the season. So a big honor for them. And also a big honor for us to be able to bring you the action. So the starting fives today for Yulon, Marcus Keene, number 3, number 13, Lu Chen Wu, number 35, Sim Bular, number 36, Lin, and number 93, Guo. He was terrific last time. Kentrell Barkley for Taiwan Beer, as well as Huang Chang Cho Po Shun, and number 32, Igor Zaitsev. So that is the starting lineups according to our pregame graphic, and we'll see if that holds to form as the players get ready to come out. Sim Bular really has been up and down in this finals. A couple of games ago, he was really a dominant player, but in the last game, he was really kind of a non-factor. It was all Marcus Keene, but there he is, Sim Bular getting the nod today to start. So anytime you play for a title, it's a very important moment in your career, and all these players know it. These are the times that they're going to reflect on, and hopefully it'll be a good memory as they come out and get ready to rock and roll here in New Taipei City. Well, hello everybody. If you're just joining us, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching. We're in New Taipei City, and this is the SBL Finals, and already a turnover for Yulon. They've had some turnover issues, and that one was not down to any type of pressure from Taiwan Beer, who are wearing the green today and attacking the basket to the left on the screen. Kentrell Barkley catches it. Huang comes out off target. Igor Zaitsev, another offensive rebound. So that'll be worrying here early on for Lee T.E. Barkley gets in the paint and puts it up and in. So Kentrell Barkley with the first basket of the game. Hails from Durham, North Carolina, played at East Carolina University for the Pirates, and spent 3 seasons there. Sim Bular, meanwhile, gets in, and nobody puts a body on him. He just lays it up and in. Igor Zaitsev. Now Barkley passes up to 3 again, gets it down low, uses the bank. The bank is open. Yes, these are indeed still banking hours here in New Taipei City, says Kentrell Barkley. This usually one we see his teammate Huang Zhen go for. Now Lin launches it. Cho Po Shun with the rebound, gets it over to Chang. There's Chang again, drifts into the lane, and he banks it in. It looks like they've had a little bit of jump shooting practice the last couple of days using the backboard, because both Barkley and now Chang have gone in and banked it in from about the same distance. Keene. Lu for 3. Barkley rebounds the miss, crosses midcourt, drifts in, gets swatted by Sim Bular. Here's Barkley again. This is where he likes to be, in the open floor, but just did not get the shot up like he needed to. And Sim Bular, an easy block for him. Taiwan Beer with the faster start here, out to a 6-2 lead. Cho from the line. Sim Bular with the rebound. Well, maybe that's the answer. Get Sim Bular in the starting lineup, and he will find his game more quickly. Marcus Keene, he's waited long enough. He puts one up. Barkley rebounds the miss. Crosses midcourt. Again, gets into the paint. And this time doesn't put enough on it again. Tried to bank that one in. And Keene drives in and draws the foul from Huang. Oh, very fast start to Taiwan Beer, but Keane, if he can make these free throws, not only will it get him off the schneid, but it'll cut the deficit to just 2 points. Off target with that first one. And he makes the second. Foul as Chang gets into the lane. Six to 3. Well, it's a tough act to follow when you score 46 points. I'm pretty sure that's not what Keane is thinking about. He just wants to get the win so he can be celebrating tonight. Chang gets inside and, well, slow reacting defense by Yulon. Everybody. They need to shift out of that second gear and raise the intensity, or this could be over early. They're down 8 to 3. Lin dribbling up high, gets it down low, and the ball intercepted. Here comes Huang, and he dunks it in. So great play, great anticipation by Huang. And it takes the lead to 10 to 3, and Lee T.E. has seen enough. He wants a timeout. He needs to sharpen the focus. Here again is a look at Chang. It's Taiwan Beer on top, 10 to 3. Well, folks, if you're just joining us, this is the SBL Finals, and we are in New Taipei City. Let me remind you, send us 500 stars on Facebook or on the super chat of the YouTube, and we will give you a shout-out. Additionally, let me encourage you all to follow FIBA on Facebook and also subscribe to the FIBA YouTube channel, and you can see a lot of great live action. You can see a lot of great games from the past, a lot of great highlights, all there on the FIBA YouTube channel. And once again, thanks very much to 11 Sports for sharing their feed so that we can bring you live basketball during this coronavirus pandemic, which has halted sports in most places around the world. Well, back to live action after the timeout by Yulon, who trailed 10 to 3. They've got possession, and Marcus Keane passes it out to the perimeter, and there you go, folks. Lou drills the three-pointer, just what the coach wants to see coming out of a timeout, a basket. Barkley. Now to Huang, who just had the steal and the dunk. Zaitsev gets it to Barkley, who misses with a reverse layup. Chases it down after Zaitsev bats it out to the corner. Lou guarding Barkley. Now Huang for three, and he hits the three-pointer right back. Yulon's players were arguing that Barkley had lost the ball out of bounds. Now Lou again for three. That's back-to-back for Lou. And the dump to Zaitsev. And Zaitsev upset with himself. Should have had a three-point play opportunity coming and missed the shot. Oh no, they actually called a turnover, so that doesn't matter. Chen Hao is checked into the game. Liu again, will it be 3 in a row? No, it will not be. Control Barkley. Over to Chang, spin, dumps it to Zaitsev, and Zaitsev this time, unfortunate set of circumstances there for Sim Bular, who had fallen down, and he was still called for the foul. Watch this. Chang penetrates, gets it to Zaitsev, and you can't see it there, but Sim Bular was actually on the ground. So Taiwan Beer out of the gate fast, up 17-9. And Bular doesn't get the miss. But then Yulon steal the basketball, and Keane passes up to Liu. So they dodged the bullet there. Could have been a 4-point trip down the floor for Taiwan Beer, but instead Yulon cut the deficit back to 6 points. Now Chang inside to Kentrell Barkley. Wong again for 3. Barkley challenges Sim Bular for the rebound, gets it and lays it up and in. Liu from the arc. Chen Hao loses control. The ball goes out of bounds, a.k.a. Douglas Creighton. Chen Hao, here he is again. Well, no, this is the pass from Keane up ahead to Liu for the layup. Liu off to a fast start. I believe he's got 8 points. I'll check that for you. Six minutes into the opening quarter. Chang over to Cho. Zaitsev. Shot clock about to expire, so Zaitsev lets it fly. And the lead goes to 10, the biggest of the game for Taiwan Beer. Yeah, Liu does indeed have 8 points to lead the way for Yulon, who are not in sync yet. Here is another man who has scored, and Sim Bular misses, but he gets a couple of free throws. But that is a basket that he has got to make it. Zaitsev knew the shot clock was about to expire. He let it go. And Sim Bular makes the first free throw. Right now it's all about Yulon trying to stabilize things here, but you know, they got to have the sense of urgency. They don't want to fall behind by a huge double-digit deficit. And Bular calmly sinks both free throws. So 21-13. Taiwan Beer blown out in the last game behind the 46 points for Marcus Keane of Yulon. Here's Chang getting inside and fouled by Guo. Haven't quite seen the same amount of energy that he provided in that last game. So here's Chang. Takes a deep breath, and the ball rattles out. Stuck on 4 points, Chang. Second one does drop for the veteran point guard. Chen Hao gets it back to King. There's Chen Hao, a.k.a. Douglas Creighton. Now Liu, who's been very hot but misses. Looked like the ball was actually inside the cylinder, but it popped out. Huang Jin in the game now, number 0. He's got the ball. He's been a big-time player for Taiwan Beer in this series. And he has the ball taken away. There's the energy from Guo that they've been needing. He puts it up and it scores! And a chance for a 3-point play. Well, that's the type of sequence that'll get Huang Jin yanked out of the game. And certainly for Guo, for my money, he was the most important player in the last game other than Keene because of that type of play right there. So Guo takes a deep breath. 2:47 remaining in the first quarter. And Guo indeed capitalizes, gets the three-point play. And the lead for Taiwan Beer now down to 6. LUXGEN after the turnover. Now Chang goes baseline. Thinks twice before shooting with Simbular there. Now Wang. Oh, and gets it to go. He uses the backboard and then gets a lot of rim. And Wang Haoji gets his first basket of the game. Liu dribbles behind his back to get it across midcourt. Control Barkley almost coming up with a steal. Look at Wang. He's going to hit the backboard, and then it's going to go around the rim. All that matters is that it falls through the cylinder, and it did. Keene, a long 2. Well, starting to wonder if Keene used up all of his points in the last game. He had 46. Here's Barkley all the way. That's what he does. He likes to take it coast to coast, and now a turnover. LUXGEN over to Chang, bounce pass. Now back over to Barkley. The lead has actually gone back to 10 points now. LUXGEN dumps it off to Zaitsev. And the Yulon defense looking a little confused all of a sudden. They had the wind in their sails after the Guo three-point play, but since that moment, it's been all Taiwan Beer, who have gone now in front by 12 points. Marcus Keene dribbles into the lane, misses badly, and they are completely out of sync. Control Barkley. And are they going to call goal interference? Yes, they are. The ruling is that the ball was already off the backboard. Let's have another look at it. Here's Barkley. That was the previous trip down the floor. And this was Zaitsev scoring. So the goal interference or the goaltending. They've not registered the points on the graphic yet. Yes, now they have. Slowly but surely, there they appear. So alarm bells ringing now for Yulon, and Simbular collides with Liu. It leads to a 2-on-1 break. Oh, what a play! Fake the behind the back pass. And Control Barkley is turning it up a notch right now. Control Barkley has been the man with a plan. He's got the inspiration. Look at this. And that's when he is at his best, when he is in the open floor and taking the lead to 32-16 here in the final minute of the first quarter. And Yulon, as well as they played in that last game, are nowhere near at that level right now. It is a different story altogether. Keene has yet to get on track. Barkley, meanwhile, has 12 points. He's got 8 rebounds. Barkley almost with a double-double, and we've not even played an entire quarter, but Coach Cho Jun-san has to like what he is seeing, and he's probably thinking right now, let's get a first quarter knockout. Let's go for the jugular. They've got another 30 seconds. They've got possession. 16 points is the biggest lead of the game for Taiwan Beer. Yulon have not scored since the three-point play from Guo after his steal and fast break. Barkley, the ball does not go down, but the offensive rebound keeps it in the hands of Taiwan Beer, and they can now hold it for the last shot. Zaitsev, and they will have to settle for a 16-point lead at the end of one, and Yulon need to find some type of inspiration. They look tired to me. They don't look the same force at all, other than Liu coming out and scoring 8 points. They are struggling almightily. They trailed 32-16 against Taiwan Beer at the end of the first quarter here in this deciding Game 6. Well, Marcus Keene had those head-turning 46 points in the last game to lead Yulon to a decisive victory over Taiwan Beer and to force this deciding Game 6. The series knotted at 3 games apiece. Taiwan Beer, of course, getting a win before the series even started by virtue of their best regular season record of all the teams. But today, Keene has but 1 point. He's really struggling to make an impact. Maybe looks a little tired. 8 points for Lu Chen U. And, well, it all spells trouble for Yulon because Taiwan Beer look rested and refreshed. And they have been at a different level altogether. They're on top 32-16. And their main man has been Kentrell Barkley, who has 12 points and 8 rebounds. Igor Zaitsev also has 8 points and 2 rebounds. So that duo is doing most of the damage. 5 points apiece as well for Huang Sung Han and for Chang Uan. The good news is for Yulon, they've still got 3 quarters to go, but they better wake up or this could be done and dusted by halftime. Thanks a lot to 11 Sports for sharing their broadcast with us so we could bring you some live basketball during this very serious time in the world with the coronavirus pandemic. And let me remind you also, folks, if you want a shout out, send us 500 stars on the Super Chat on YouTube or send us 500 stars on Facebook and we'll give you that shout out. Huang Jin. Oh, Huang Jin says, let's go for the jugular. Drills the three-pointer right at the start of the second quarter. Lu has come into the game, the backup point guard, number 72, and moving Keene to more of a shooting guard role. Chin Hao gets inside, turns it over. Good defense by the Ukraine train, Igor Zaitsev, who's playing at his best today. Boy, this Yulon team unrecognizable from the team we saw play just 2 days ago. And Chang scores with a reverse layup, and the lead has ballooned to 21 points. Crazy scenes here in New Taipei City. I don't believe Yulon knows what's hit him yet. Keene, now feeling the desperation, passes it outside to Lin. They can't get it all back at once, but they've got to start playing better than they are right now. Lin, his shot goes off the iron. Chang with a mazy run into the lane and is fouled. How in the world could Yulon have had such a poor start? I mean, yes, Taiwan Beer are playing better, but really, this is just doesn't make sense. Yulon being run out of the gym here early on. Well, Marcus Keene is going to sit down, has a chance to think about the situation, and from his standpoint, he'll be hoping it doesn't get worse before it gets better. But right now, everything is going the way of Taiwan Beer. Chang takes his time. Chang makes both free throws. and the lead has ballooned to 23 points. It has been a horror show for Yulon. Defensively, they've been nowhere to be found. I mean, there is going to be potentially a huge number on the board for Taiwan Beer at halftime. 39 points already, and we're just a minute and a half into the second quarter. Lu drifts into the paint. Simbular able to get his hands on it. And the ball will remain at this end. Lu just trying to get the ball to drop. Right now, Yulon just need to see the ball fall through the hoop. Lu trying to lob the ball to Simbular. And the pass inside, and great job getting the ball to Lin, who at least gets a couple of free throws. Well, it's been that kind of game. Even the free throws aren't dropping for Yulon. At least one of them drops to cut it back to a 22-point deficit. Lu trying to deny the ball to Chang. Now Huang Jin. 2-3 zone being employed by Yulon. 2 minutes into the second quarter. Chang at the stripe. Good box out. Down low by Cho. Lu. So foul called on number 20, Cho Po-shun. Well, how long will Lee Te keep Marcus Keene on the bench? Honestly, did not look like the same player in that first quarter, nor at the start of the second. So Lee Te is taking his chances with somebody else right now, i.e. Lu, number 72, Lu Chi-er. Well, driving in is Lu Chen-u, who is leading the team in scoring with 8 points. A couple of times now he's missed on drives. That was Wang Haoji playing defense, number 27. Lu's going to inbound the basketball, or he's going to try to. He does. He gets it to Lu. Dribbles in, now dribbles out. Lu's open and takes his time and hits his third three-pointer of the game. So that is their first basket in an awfully long time, in several minutes. 39-20 gives them a little bit of hope, Yulon. Wang, meanwhile, gets it right back. Taiwan Beer playing like a runaway train right now, 42-20. Lin bumped by Huang as he attacks the basket. Now backing his man up is Lin, but he throws it away, trying to get to Simbular. And it leads to a break, and the rejection. Good hustle back by Lu. Lu Chen-u gets the swat. There he is. So another timeout has been called here in the second quarter. And right now, it's all Taiwan Beer. They've got all the pop and all the fizzle and the sizzle. And rather, the fizzle is with Yulon. 42-20, Taiwan Beer on top. Well, 42-20, Taiwan Beer on top. Hey, folks, if you want to shout out, send us 500 stars on Facebook or on the Super Chat on YouTube, and we will give you one. Also, a big thanks to 11 Sports for sharing their feed with us so we could bring you some live basketball. Chinese Taipei basketball being broadcast around the world during this coronavirus pandemic. Barkley is still on the bench with 12 points and 8 rebounds, and Yulon coming out and playing some defense and forcing the turnover. Simbular's pass intercepted. Chang drives in. They're going to count it. They are going to send Chang to the line for a potential three-point play. A devastating performance, really, more so by Yulon, killing themselves. Lou reached in half-heartedly. Nobody took a charge. And the lead is at its biggest now, 25 points. You just got to play one possession at a time for Yulon. And Simbular fouled as he goes up for the shot. So a chance for a three-point play for the big fella. Simbular indeed does get the three-point play to cut the deficit back to 22 points. I guess if they could get it to 15 by halftime, they would be happy, and maybe even more. But Wong comes out, and he's not going to let up. Yet again, drilling it from three-point range is Wang, and the lead goes to 48-23. A blistering performance from several of these players in the Taiwan Beer team. Meanwhile, Simbular catches it, spins, and earns another trip to the line for another chance at a three-point play. Kentrell Barkley comes back into the contest. Also, Su Bo Chan makes his first appearance, number 99. You see him limbering up down there underneath the basket. Simbular misses that one badly. So the lead remains at 23 points for Taiwan Beer over Yulon. Guo comes out on Chang. Now Huang from the right corner. And the three-pointers continue to reign here for Taiwan Beer in the SBL Finals, Game 6. They've passed the half-century mark already, and we've still got more than half of the second quarter to go. Lou chucks it up from deep. Barkley. Over to Wang again. Nobody boxed out. Wang as he flies in for the putback. 53-25. An absolute master taking place in front of us right now with Taiwan Beer. Yulon just looked like deer in the headlights. Lu. Now Chang, open floor. He'll take it all the way. They get the ball back. Barkley puts it up. 55-25, Taiwan Beer with an absolute stranglehold on proceedings here in New Taipei City. Well, what do you do if you're Coach Lee T.E.? This was the three by Huang. Well, nothing feels as good as winning a championship in basketball, and this team is a long way from doing that. The way they've played today, down 30 points against Taiwan Beer. 24 and a half minutes remaining in their season. So still some time to turn things around and at least make it more respectable, but I don't believe anybody saw this coming, especially after the last game when Yulon blew out Taiwan Beer. Hit us up with 500 stars, folks, on the Super Chat, on YouTube, or on Facebook, and we will give you a shout-out. Also, don't forget to follow FIBA on Facebook and to subscribe to the FIBA YouTube channel. Marcus Keene back in the game and fouled by Huang Honghan. Well, does he have the look of, I got this? I mean, it is a monumental task facing Yulon now as they try to get something from this game, as they try to claw back. If they do, it'll be the most incredible comeback ever. Down 30 points. Keene sees the ball fall through the hoop, which is very important for any team. The substitution still being made. Zhou Yizhong, number 24, enters the contest for Taiwan Beer. Kentrell Barkley doing a little bit of shaking and baking up high. Now he spins. Joey misses from a long way out. And the box out by Hu Kai-xiang on Huang. Gets the ball back to Yulon. Joey Zong trying to guard Keene, and Keene was on line but short. Now Kentrell Barkley, bounce pass, beautiful fast break, and the finish by Huang. Kentrell Barkley just loves to have the basketball in his hands on the break. Hu Kai-xiang misses. It's an incredible turn of events. I can't quite get my head around the fact that this Taiwan Beer team is not just winning, but having scored 30 more points, and that lead could grow here. Boy, what a great play by Barkley. No look, bounce pass. And Barkley gets it to go, takes the lead up to 60-27. I mean, anytime a team has put 60 points on the board against you in less than a half of basketball, you know your defense has not been up to the task. Keene. Barkley keeping it alive. Taiwan Beer hustling down the basketball, and Huang Zhen has it. Oh, I don't want to suggest this thing is over, but I'm pretty sure there are going to be some Taiwan Beer fans watching this game and perhaps popping some bottles of beer or bottles of champagne to celebrate. Look at this. Barkley turns, misses. Guo Over to Keene. Keene hears the whistle, absorbs the contact, and earns another trip to the free throw line. Well, not really getting much space to do his thing today, and I'm sure he's frustrated by that, but he will have to try to capitalize on these opportunities at the free throw line. The former Central Michigan star, Central Michigan University, where he led the NCAA in scoring one season, and he makes both. So the basketball back into the hands now of Taiwan Beer. Chang has it. Joe drills it. Oh boy, you know it's raining and it's pouring when Joey Song comes out and drills a three-pointer. 63-29. A nightmare scenario unfolding for Yulon, who quite frankly, folks, looks shell-shocked to be down this much in the first half. Look at Joey Song. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Keene, meanwhile, sees his attempt rim out. Chin Hao back in the game, 63-30. They could go on a 20-0 run and still be trailing by 13 points. Extraordinary stuff here. Chang from long range rings up another one. 66-30. Taiwan Beer just putting an exclamation mark on their season. Spinning. Now out to Lou. Lou's had 3 threes today, but he misses with that attempt. Kentrell Barkley, meanwhile, with a mazy run into the paint. Dump to Guo. He turns into Barkley, turns it over. Barkley dives. Now Chang. Anything that can go wrong does go wrong for Yulon. Wong, another three. 69-30. Well, this certainly does call into question the defense that certainly is not being played today by Yulon. It has been a horror show. So 8 of 15 from three-point range for Taiwan Beer. Kentrell Barkley takes a seat here for the remainder of the half. Igor Zaitsev back in. And Guo at the free throw line for Yulon. You simply cannot make this stuff up. 69-31 in the deciding game of the SBL Finals. ETE looks on. Okay, his team has cut it back to 69-32. Cho has it. Now Keene. Dribbling up high, he's fouled, it'll count. Nope, they're gonna say it was before the shot. Astonishing. 37-point lead for Taiwan Beer. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. King gets it to fall. Coach Lee T.E. looks as shell-shocked as his players, really. And about the only thing you can hope for is some type of miracle comeback. I suppose in this situation, you just got to try to chip away. Don't look at the scoreboard, just keep playing. But you've got to tighten things up on defense. You got to play D, you got to rebound, you got to stop that transition, which has been a real problem. King reaches in and fouls Chang. Well, you saw the shake of the head from Marcus Keene. His team down 35 late in the first half, and most likely Taiwan Beer are going to get the last shot. Well, you know, one stat that we haven't really spoken about, the rebounding decisively. Taiwan Beer with the edge, 23 rebounds to just 6 for Yulon. Also 10 turnovers for Yulon, just 4 for Taiwan Beer. So the ball inbounded, and the pass batted out of bounds. Still a little bit of time. 2.32 seconds remains. Kentrell Barkley goes back out. Lackadaisical defense, and they avoid giving up another 3. So Taiwan Beer are walking off the court all smiles. They lead it 69-34, a comprehensive first half blowout against Yulon. And Yulon is back to the drawing board. I don't know if you're the coach, what do you say if maybe a player should step up and challenge his teammates to go out there and die for the team? Because that's what it's going to take. Here's Huang.
的黄宗海，你今天在上半场的表现非常好，还有一颗快攻的灌篮，可不可以谈谈你那个灌篮的当下在想什么？然后你是用什么样的心情来看待本季的最后一场比赛？
当然，因为是最后一场嘛，然后大家都卯足全力来防守，所以一有机会快攻，我当然就是表现自己嘛，对。
可是讲到防守，你现在已经有3犯在身了，而且目前你们是采全场包夹嘛？那你下半场防守是不是要小小的修正，或是你觉得进攻端有什么可以改进的地方？
当然，防守我现在3次犯规就是尽量不要去有一些手部啊，或者是身体的推挤，就是要自己小心一点。对。
谢谢聪汉，下半场继续加油！观众朋友先休息一下，我们马上回来。
So Huang has 15 points, as does number 14 Chang. 17 points and 10 rebounds for Kentrell Barkley, 8 points for Huang Haoji, and 8 points as well for Igor Zaitsev. And it's all Taiwan Beer at halftime. They lead it 69-34. Marcus Keene, who was sensational in the last game, has been held in check today. Yulon's number 3 has but 7 points after scoring a record 46 points final game record, rather, 46 points in Game 5. So catch your breath, folks, and we will be right back before the start of the second half. Well, 69-34, it is all Taiwan Beer right now on top of Yulon here in the deciding game of the SBL Finals in New Taipei City. Who would have thunk it? Just 48 hours after the incredible display by Marcus Keane, who scored 46 points to force the deciding game, Yulon have come out and laid an egg. Taiwan Beer, meanwhile, have thrived with those 69 first-half points. They have been hot. They've been playing with confidence. And you know how it goes. Once you get that lead, you can play free. You can play loosey-goosey, whatever. I mean, nothing is going to be too tall in order for you. They've been relaxed, and they've been in their flow. And really nothing defensively that Yulon has done has made any type of impact in this game. And that is probably the biggest concern, defense and the rebounding. You know, rebounding is the statistic of desire, as the saying goes, and, well, they're getting killed on the boards, Yulon. So whatever happened in the build-up to this game for both of these teams, well, it worked for Taiwan Beer, and it definitely did not work for Yulon. Well, folks, two and a half minutes before the start of the second half, just as a reminder, we want to say thanks to 11 Sports for sharing their feed with us the past several games so we can bring you live action of the SBL Finals. Of course, right now, no fans allowed inside the arena because of health concerns, because of the coronavirus pandemic. Nevertheless, we've been able to bring you the action, and you can watch it wherever you are in the world, some live basketball, most of which has been shut down the past several weeks, unfortunately, because of the coronavirus pandemic. But fingers crossed, we're hoping for normalcy, for good times to return, whether that's in Asia, the Americas, Europe, Africa. We're all hungry for basketball, but there are more important things at stake, obviously, related to people fighting for their lives. So be sure to, anyway, enjoy yourself today, and also follow those guidelines that your respective governments are giving you as it relates to the coronavirus pandemic. So some of the numbers from the first half of this game, and they do not make for pretty viewing for Yulon. So, for example, 8 of 16 from three-point range from Taiwan Beer, just 3 of 11 for Yulon. They've done better at the free throw line today, making 15 of 19, 5 of 7 for Taiwan Beer. But inside the arc, Yulon just 5 of 14, whereas Taiwan Beer are 20 of 29. And in terms of turnovers, 10 for Yulon and just 4 for Taiwan Beer. So one of the players we've been keeping an eye on throughout this series has been Huang. Here he is scoring with the offensive rebound and putback, and also Kentrell Barkley, who's been terrific, who has the 17 points and 10 rebounds. Barkley, number 6. Huang, you've seen him score on fast breaks, and you've also seen him strike from downtown. There he is. And once again, one of the leading players in the game, 15 points. He's got 7 assists. He is 4 of 5 from three-point range. So, 3 of 5 from three-point range. So second half action underway, and it's now Taiwan Beer attacking the basket to the right. Starting is Simbular. Yulon needs to come out and at least play for pride right now. Chang just inside the stripe, Igor Zaitsev can't get the rebound. It goes to Keen, who has Chang on his back. So a foul. I mean, really all you can do is just don't look at the scoreboard. Just play hard if you are Yulon, which is not what they did, especially on the defensive end in that first half. They were kind of like going through the motions. Lou, meanwhile, is taking off his headband, hoping for a change, number 13. But not Keen, he's still got his. He passes over to a wide open Lin. Simbular there for the offensive rebound, and he was fouled from behind by Igor Zaitsev. Bular back outside to Lin, misses badly. That's one of your main shooters. Wang. And Wang picks right up where he and Taiwan Beer left off in the first half. We want to go and check it out on the replay. So again, folks, it's Game 6. Taiwan Beer awarded a victory before the finals started because of their superior record during the regular season, finishing top of the standings. They have not had it all their own way. You know, they lost the first two games actually played in the SBL finals, then hit back for a couple of wins. And then Yulon, facing elimination, forced the deciding game by winning at Game 5, but here they've come out today and have really just not been at the races. They trail 72-34. Lou's going to inbound the basketball. Tough inbounds pass that was chased down by Keen, who dribbles up the floor. And the bump. It's been a nightmare of nightmare games for Yulon. Might have a bad game every so often, but you definitely don't want to have one like this with the season on the line and a title at stake. Juan gets it over to Barkley, and now an offensive foul called on Igor Zaitsev. Su Bo-chan checks into the game, number 91. And Zaitsev, meanwhile, is going to go take a seat. It's really hard to get mad at a call, though, when you're up 72-34. Spinning, gets it out to Chen Hao. Keane goes down, slow to get up, and here is Sim Bular. Goes up and dunks it. So they have literally doubled the points scored by Yulon, have Taiwan Beer, 72-36. Chan. Looks for some space, gets inside and scores with a little runner over Sim Bular. Chen Hao, aka Douglas Creighton, over to Guo. And Guo goes hard to the basket and takes it right at Wang Haoji and scores. And now the foul from behind. Foul called on Chen Hao, Doug Creighton. Look at this. Chang puts it up, misses. And now Keane. Down low to Sim Bular. Again, goes up and fouled on the play, so he's got a potential three-point play coming. Well, the big fella playing well here in the second half. He misses the free throw, and they were in the lane too early anyway. So the lead remains 34 points. Well, trying to get that first title in a while, Taiwan Beer. Here is Chang, but an offensive foul called on Taiwan Beer on Su Bo-chan. Keane lays it up and in at the 74-42. Su Bo-chan thought about it and decided not to go up. He ends up turning the basketball over. Three-pointer, nope. Liu drives in, takes a very difficult layup attempt. And another possession for Yulon. Here, oh boy, Sim Bular missed it. Then he tries to go up and dunk it, missed it again, and finally Gets it to go. He's laughing at himself, realizing he's right there. And he can't get the drop. It's like me in the kitchen sometimes. I try to throw something away, and I'm right there, and I throw it beside the wastebasket. But he stuck with it. Got a few extra rebounds. Look at the bright side, Simbular. Shooting percentage dropped, however. Lou going for the steal, called for the foul. Chen, number 89, checking into the game. Played very well in this series. I've been impressed by him. Made some important contributions, especially in the comeback when they won Game 3. Chang. That's what I'm talking about. You're up so big, you're relaxed. He steps back and he hits it to take it back to a 32-point lead. And quickly was Guo. Much better from Guo. Well, this is the 17th SBL Finals, and Yulon have won the title 4 times in their history, including the first 3 titles. Taiwan Beer, meanwhile, have won it 4 times, and they won it in years 4 and 5, and they last won it in the 2015-2016 season. Guo not able to capitalize on the 3-point play. Here's Chang for 3. Boy, he's going to end up with a big number tonight, isn't he? 79-46. Simbular pulls his way down low. He'll be mad that he doesn't have a 3-point play opportunity coming. Well, let's talk about Chang. How many points does he have? He's got 22. So he has really taken off. And meanwhile, we've got a timeout on the floor. It's Taiwan Beer leading at 79-46. Well, unless we see an incredible comeback by Yulon, it's going to be interesting to see who wins the MVP award. I would think the favorite would be Huang, number 11, Huang Song-han, or perhaps Kentrell Barkley, but Chang has certainly had some good moments. Huang Jin as well has been good. And you would have said coming into today, Marcus Keene would have been the favorite to get the MVP, but he's only got 10 points. And he is 8 of 10 at the free throw line. He's only made 1 shot from the floor. He's 1 of 5 overall. He's only attempted 1 3 and he's missed it. But Chang has come out and really helped deliver the knockout blow, it would appear, in the first half, and now he's gotten up to 22 points. Here is Simbular. He's been pretty good here in the second half. Takes his time and makes the free throw. Guo trying to come up with a steal, fouls Chang. Taiwan Beer now in the bonus. And 4 fouls have been called on Yulon. Control Barkley. Chang again, that was short. And Bullard thought about giving the quick outlet up to Lou, but instead gave it to Keene, who drives in and just kind of flips up a layup attempt and misses. Just not on his A game today is Marcus Keene. Well, they are flirting with a three-point play opportunity. Kentrell Barkley makes the layup, took a bump, no foul was called, and now he comes back and gets the steal. Just incredible how just seeming just Yulon have lost their way today. They lost their way really in the first quarter and just have not been at the races all game long. Their focus wasn't right before the start of the game. Keene, who just missed a layup, comes out with his team down 81-48. Barkley, the former East Carolina Pirate from Durham, North Carolina, takes it up to 83-48. Continues to have a monster game, his best of these SBL finals. He was the top pick in the last SBL draft. Lou hits a three-pointer, 83-51. So they spread the court. Barkley was looking to post up Lou. Now he's out, gets it back over to Cho. Oh, Cho, the bank is open. Boy, anything and everything that could go right today has for Taiwan Beer. Now wide open, and Yulon missed, but Bullard there for the offensive rebound and putback. Send us some stars, folks, on Facebook or the Super Chat on YouTube. And if you send us 500, we'll give you a shout out. Also, be sure to subscribe to the FIBA Facebook or follow FIBA Facebook or subscribe to the YouTube channel of FIBA. Bullard with the swat. Guo loses it to Chang. Wide open three. And Cho drills another one, and I'll tell you what, it has gotten very ugly for Yulon. Downtown, Chang boxed out Bullard there, you can see. Now Barkley at the other end. And at this rate, it's going to be a very long last 11 minutes and 46 seconds for Yulon because the effort level just isn't there right now. We're finding it very difficult to be competitive. That wide open jump shot, the last one that was scored by number 20, Cho Po Shin of the national team. 89-53. Guo takes a seat and thinks about this this horrendous day for them as they review a play over here on the monitor. So they're looking to see if something was a unsportsmanlike foul. while they do, just give you an update on some of the numbers in this game. Ten points for Keane, 14 for Liu, 19 now for Sin Bular, as well as 9 rebounds. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists for Kentrell Barkley, 22 points for Chang, 15 for Huang, and 27 for Wang. Okay, let's see what their decision is. Don't fall over as you exit the commissioner table, and they have indeed called an unsportsmanlike foul. Not sure if they're going to show it again. Well, it's not often you get to 100 points in the third quarter. I don't think they will, but they won't be that far off, as Cho Potion's first free throw takes them to 90. Now 91, and they will maintain possession. Barkley with the reach, no call. Barkley stays, hangs in the air, and is fouled. He really has been good today. He's been good in most of these games for Taiwan Beer. He has good size, handles the ball well, especially in the open floor, and really does get after things on the glass. And what's interesting is if you look back at it and you remember that Yulon started the finals winning 2 games to take that 2-1 lead, since Taiwan Beer got a win by virtue of their great regular season. And they were actually up at halftime of that third game. And instead of pressing home the advantage, they lost it. And okay, they did come back and win again, but just think if in that third game, if they had done better, things might have been very differently. And I'm sure as they go back and analyze the season, that is going to be at the front of their thoughts. They had them right where they wanted them, but in that second half of Game 3, they just were not where they needed to be. They just lost the initiative. Joe misses. Hey folks, I want to give a shout out to Michael Mancuso. Michael sending in all those stars. I'm not sure if it was on Facebook or on the super chat, but thank you. And Michael Mancuso watching the action today, and probably just as stunned as I am at the turn of events that Taiwan Beer, not necessarily that they're winning, but that they're winning 92-58, and we're still late in the third quarter over Yulon. Now Keane rebounds the miss, goes up the middle of the floor, misses with his attempt in the lane, and now Barkley goes behind the back, a little bit of showtime, and Chen puts it up. And the Taiwan Beer now on 94 points. Final seconds ticking off the clock. Keane has it. Alley-oop pass, and that is good to Sim Bular. But really, that has been one of the few highlights. (94-60). in favor of Taiwan Beer. 10 minutes remaining. Well, for Michael Mancuso, who sent us those 500 stars, and everybody else who is watching this game, let me give you a quick rundown of some of the stats. Crucially, 22 points apiece for Chang as well as Barkley for Taiwan Beer. Barkley also with 11 rebounds, 15 for Huang, and 11 for Wang. 8 for Igor Zaitsev. And the man that had 46 points, a record 46 points in the last game for Yulon, Marcus Keene, has only 13 points 3 quarters into this one. And Liu has 14. Simbular with 23 points and 11 rebounds leading the way for Yulon in what can only be characterized for them as a slow starting effort, or feeble effort even. 12 of 22 from three-point range are Taiwan Beer, 4 of 17 from deep for Yulon. So it has been a demolition that we've witnessed for the first 3 quarters in favor of Taiwan Beer. Also 10 steals for Taiwan Beer to just 3 for Yulon, 21 assists to just 12 for Yulon, 29-19, the advantage in rebounding for Taiwan Beer, 13 turnovers, only 3 in that quarter for Yulon, but 13 turnovers in the game for them, 7 for Taiwan Beer. Fourth quarter action underway, and the Ukraine train back in the game. Igor Zaitsev, thanks again to 11 Sports for sharing the feed and letting us take the world some live basketball coverage here of the SBL finals in Chinese Taipei. And the ball misses, grabbed by Simbular. Now Liu, his pass intercepted. And the passing, great passing, and the finish by Huang, who now has 17 points. 96-60. Taiwan Beer winning in a blowout. They will almost certainly be the champions of the SBL for the 2019-2020 season. They are closing in on the 5th title in their history, and doing so with a lot of panache. 96-62. Yulon trying to push it up the floor quickly. We saw Liu Guanliang score on their last trip down the floor. There's Liu as well. Now Simbular. He's got a double-double in points and rebounds. Pass to Bullard, tries to get it back to Liu. It turns over. Wang. Now Chang back outside. Igor Zaitsev thought about it. They swing it to Huang Jin. Chang pulls up and banks in another 2. He's got 24 points. Chang to lead all scorers. passes out to Lu, who is the MVP of the league a couple of years ago, and he drives in and scores. Igor Zaitsev with a dunk. Haven't seen many dunks today. So Igor Zaitsev just testing out the dunkometer, making sure it works. Lu off the front of the ring. Wang chases it down. And then he is fouled. Well, no fans allowed, unfortunately, in, but that's because of the risks involved with the coronavirus pandemic. They don't want to take any risks. So the game is effectively being played behind closed doors, although there are journalists here in New Taipei City as well as club officials, so we do have some noise. And Lu goes out. Hu Kai Shang comes back in, number 12. 100-64 Taiwan Beer in a convincing display here against Yulon. Well, Yulon catch a break. That basket not allowed by Igor Zaitsev. Chen Hao looked like he dribbled it off his foot, and it went to Cho, and then the defensive pressure forced the turnover. Well, it'll be interesting to see how Lee Te and his club respond to what has been a devastating defeat, the worst time of the season in the championship decider here against Taiwan Beer. Yulon were hoping to get a fifth title in their first since the 2009-2010 campaign, but they have come out today and well and truly laid an egg. They have not been at the races, and right now they are down by 36 points with nearly 3 minutes into the contest. Rather, nearly 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Chen Hao goes out. Well, played very well earlier in the series, but hasn't been as good the last few games. Chang gets it back, puts it up, misses, and Zaitsev follows, and a chance now for Yulon. No, they turn it over. Lu couldn't catch it. Now Wang Jin inside, he's blocked from behind. That was actually Cho taking that shot after the pass from Huang Jin. So some of the youngsters coming out and getting an opportunity to play here at the end of the game for Yulon. And the bump and the basket was good by Zaitsev. Luke puts it up from three-point range, misses everything. Dump to Zaitsev again, just turns and has his way with Cho. Now spinning and scoring in the lane was Lu. Driving is Chang. Zaitsev again there for the follow. Nope, he is blocked from behind by Hu Kai-xiang. So some of the veterans and stars, a new 5 come in for Taiwan Beer as all of the big names go out. Joe back in. Zong, he's got the three-pointer. And three-point shot is good by Wang. He has been on the money today. Just get his numbers. Wang has really been a threat from three-point range today. So he now has 14 points. 4 or 5 from three-point range, in fact. So another timeout with Taiwan Beer on top, 107-68 against Yulon here in the fourth quarter of the SBL Finals of Game 6. So back to live action out of the timeout. Kentrell Barkley back into the contest, as well as Gong now, number 3. Joe has the ball. He gets in his scores with reverse layup. Nobody there to meet him at the rim. Long rebound. Wonder what Joe Mancuso thinks about this blowout today. Certainly be interested to hear his opinion. And as they bring it across the floor. Send me your views on this if you want at Jeffrey N. Taylor. That's JEFFREYN Taylor, TAYLOR on Twitter. I'd be interested to hear what you thought of this blowout because I'm stunned, absolutely stunned. Wang, another 3 attempt. This time he misses. (109-70). It's really not been a contest since late in the first quarter. This Taiwan Beer team just, I mean, they played well, but really Yulon were just nowhere to be found defensively. And once Taiwan Beer saw the ball start falling through the hoop from three-point range, it was going to be over quickly. And we also saw Kentrell Barkley just dominate with his open floor skills. Three-point shot gets it back to 109-73 here in the final 3 minutes of Game 6. Huang Hung Han launching that. They get the ball back. Well, we'll see hopefully these teams go at it again in future SBL finals, and it'll be perhaps a little bit more competitive in the deciding game. Joe Zong just having his way today. Good minutes off the bench for him. Lou misses from deep, and 2 minutes remaining in this demolition. It's 111-73. Taiwan Beer in complete command over Yulon in the SBL finals, the 17th SBL finals. Boy, how in the world did Huang Hung Han miss that one? Nobody was guarding him. Now the three-point shot is good. So more substitutions here for Taiwan Beer. Not sure why Coach Cho Jun-san is making them this late in the game. And Chang brings it up the floor. So basically, folks, in this very difficult time around the world, we've had so much basketball that has been halted or stopped. And we really did jump for joy when we found out that, first of all, the SBL finals were going to be played, even so, without fans. And then we discovered the 11 Sports were going to share their feed with us so we could bring you some live basketball. So once again, the biggest thanks goes from us, everybody in international basketball, to 11 Sports for making this game available to the rest of the world. And also a big hearty thanks to all the viewers who have been watching on Facebook or YouTube and sending us stars and messages. It's been a lot of fun. It hasn't been much fun today for Yulon, that's for sure. We know that they're much better than what they've showed today, but they have been absolutely given a hiding. 114-76 right now the score in favor of Taiwan Beer. For whatever reason, Yulon just did not bring their best today. They brought their worst, and that's not what you want to do in a deciding game of the finals. So it's the 17th SBL finals. Yulon were going for their 5th title. That's going to have to wait. Taiwan Beer, meanwhile, will get their 5th title, and it'll be their first since the 2015-2016 season. So watching this SBL finals, it's just kind of reminding us how much we do miss watching a lot of basketball, and we are all very eager to see the action return to all of our courts everywhere. The SBL finals, the SBL champions of the 2019-2020 campaign is Taiwan Beer, and the party is on in New Taipei City. Kentrell Barkley and co. go to the middle of the court. They made it look easy today. They absolutely destroyed Yulon 117-78. Did anybody see this coming? I doubt it very seriously. This is just an anomaly. 117-78. You can see they were already up 32-16 at the end of the first quarter, and they stretched that to 69 to 34 at halftime. It was an utter it was a demolition of the highest order, and leading the way today was Kentrell Barkley, really out of the gate fast with those 22 points, 11 rebounds. Chang got it going. He finished with 24 points. Huang, number 11, with 17 points, 5 rebounds. Zhou Po-shin ended up having a big game as well, with those 11 points, 6 rebounds. 14 points for Wang. Shot lights out today. 4 of 6 from three-point range. 17 points and 5 rebounds for Igor Zaitsev. Wang also had the 5 rebounds. And coming out and doing a good job off the bench today, number 24 as well, Joe E. Zong, who had 5 points and a couple of rebounds. Just a real convincing win today for Coach Joe Jun San's team. They took Marcus Keene out of it early on. He had no chance to make the type of impact that he made when he had 46 points to force this deciding game. He only finished with 13 points, 16 points for Lu Chen-U, 23 points for Simbular, as well as 12 rebounds, and Guo had 9 points. But really, statistics in a game like this don't matter for the losing team. They were blown out. Kentrell Barkley already in party mode here at midcourt in New Taipei City as Taiwan Beer celebrate the 5th title in their history of the SBL. And Coach Cho Jun San, all smiles. There were difficult moments. They trailed in the series 2-1, and they were also trailing at halftime in the next game, and things were starting to look bleak for Taiwan Beer, but they were able to come back and win that game and then win the next to take a 3-2 lead. And despite losing the last game, they have come out today and just put on a very convincing display to win it 117-78 over Yulon Express. So we'll leave you with some pictures here of the action and sign off. And once again, a huge thank you to 11 Sports for sharing your feed with us so we could bring you some live basketball around the world on the FIBA YouTube channel as well as FIBA Facebook. Thanks again for everybody that's tuned in to watch. One last time, it's Taiwan Beer winning the title in 2019-2020. They come out and play huge today. They win it 117-78 over Yulon in the deciding 6th game. Congratulations to Taiwan Beer.